Shabbat Shalom, family. It's so good to see you all here. I don't know what it was, but I was kind of under the weather this morning, so I kind of just slept a little longer than normal. I guess it's a good thing I woke up at this moment alive. So here I am. I hope you're all having a wonderful Shabbat. I really, truly do. Hold on. Can y'all all hear me? Please give me a one if you can hear me. Can y'all all hear me? Okay. Well, I hope you can. Well, we're going to talk about the pyramids. There are a lot of pyramids, and I'm sure many of you have heard this before throughout the years that there's a lot of pyramids in the US, and there are a lot of pyramids here. You know, even things about my state, I'm still learning. We got mounds here in New Jersey. And there was a pyramid here. The only thing left of the pyramid is the base of it, and I'm really shocked that they admit it was a pyramid. This thing had to be a monster. The base of the pyramid in New Jersey is 880 feet. I mean, this thing is, like, huge. So when the pyramid was there, that thing had to be ginormous. It is huge. The base of it is just mind-blowing. Well, they are everywhere. And see, the reason why they don't want to tell you these things, y'all, is because it will debunk all of the history that has been told in America, especially the Native Americans. Native Americans that the ones they label as Native Americans, we know they're Siberians. They are not known for building pyramids. So these pyramids had to come from an ancient civilization that predates them. So it will just wash away all of these are the natives you know, because ridiculous as it seems, white people want you to believe history started when they showed up, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. You would have to be an idiot to sit around and believe that. There's pyramids here because it was life that predates everything they have spoken about in America. And if anything, we are synonymous for pyramids, not white people, not the Siberians, not Latinos. These folks are not known for pyramids, but we are. We are. So they would have a major problem if they come out and tell you these things. That's why it's all been excluded from the history. It would literally negate every piece of history they told you about this land, and they know it. So they got to tell you, no, that's not, no, that's a natural formation. Oh, no, that's a mound. That's not a pyramid. I've heard that many times when people brought up that is a pyramid. Oh no, that's a mound. They deflect all the time and try to make you believe what your eyes are seeing. No, don't believe what your eyes are seeing. Believe my non-existent lip lying mouth. You know, and it makes you understand that they are not the ones to be giving the history. They're not. And there's a reason why the Most High don't talk to them. All right. We know this from the biblical text. He does not talk to these Gentiles. And when you start learning more and more, you understand why the Most High have that kind of thinking. I don't talk to Gentiles. I don't listen to Gentile prayers. I don't care about them. They are spittle. You'll understand. I know I do. I completely understand. Yes, oh, Mississippi is like a hot spot. So is California. I'm astonished at how many are in California. And y'all, many of these pyramids are right next to highways. The ones that I will show you, you could literally be driving down the highway and these babies are right there by the highway. Some of them you will drive down the highway and they're right in front of you. Right in front of you is this huge pyramid. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. So if you've been, out and about and you saw one, no, you're not seeing things. They are estimating that there are about 120 pyramids in the US. So if there's 120, y'all, then it exceeds any amount of them that are over there in Egypt. And some of the pyramids are bigger than the one over is bigger than Giza, the ones over here. And you got to ask yourself, why are they willing to show you pyramids in Egypt? And there's pyramids right here in the US, right under their nose. And they go above and beyond to make sure you learn nothing about these pyramids. Right. So the first video I put in here, it's a pyramid inside of a tree. It's a small pyramid that somebody put inside of a tree. So that's going to be the first video. And then you're going to see actual footage of people in cars and they shoot and film videos. And many of them are, your pyramid that you see. And some of them or step pyramids right here in America. Step pyramids. All right, so let me share my screen so we can get started. All right. Can y'all see my screen? Please give me a one if you can see my screen. And we know pyramids are, spoken about in a lot of our ancient texts. And yes, they're power. And that's another reason why they're trying to cover it up. But you really can't cover this up. Too many eyes done seen them. All right, y'all, let's get started.
We're downtown Flint. Downtown. So check this out. That tree is clearly 300 years old. Probably 200. But look at what we found inside. What is this? I got some markings on it, but I don't know. That ain't natural. Anybody got any thoughts? Let us know. Leave some comments. Very curious, and we're very interested. Because Flint was founded in 1807. So how old is that thing? This thing's pretty big. It goes down pretty far.
What were the pyramid mounds in Indiana and Illinois used for? Pyramid Mound in Indiana is part of an ancient culture of Mississippian people. Built around 1,000 years ago, Pyramid Mound was used for burials and ceremonies, and skeletons have been found at the site. Unfortunately, discovery of these mounds is very poorly documented. They have been mentioned in some writings in the 1700s. However, we do know more about Monk's Mound in Illinois. It's the largest earthwork in North America. It's over 1,000 years old, stands over 10 stories tall, and covers over 14 acres of land. That's bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza at the base. It was part of the greatest city in North America and home to 40,000 people. Only the chief and his family lived at the top of the colossal structure, and from its heights, the chief governed his people. French settlers claimed the abandoned mound in the 19th century, and Henry Brackenridge, a U.S. senator, was the first to visit the site and write a detailed record of it. Unlike the great pyramids that are built of stone, Monk's Mound is built from layers and layers of transported soil. Both Pyramid Mound and Monk's
Did y'all hear what he said? Oh, this US senator was the first to visit. It was people already there. It was people that live there. You see how they always trying to elevate themselves in some kind of way? Oh, they were the first to be there. No, they aren't. People lived there and lived there thousands of years ago, for long before a white face showed up. But every time a story is told, they're the first this and the first that, and it's that talk is all phony. All phony. But let's move on.
Mound are part of a network of similar structures used by Native American civilizations. Thousands of mounds have been destroyed through farming and construction. Some have become historic sites and are preserved for future generations. These ancient pyramids remind us that America's history is often deeper and more complex than we realize.
So y'all mean to tell me the United States school curriculum is not teaching us everything we need to learn? It seemed like they gave us all the great civilizations except for the great civilization here in America. It seemed like TikTok and the internet is teaching me way more than school ever did. When was y'all gonna tell me that it's pyramids all throughout this motherfucker? This is Pyramid Lake in California. They were saying it's pyramids and ancient artifacts in the Grand Canyon and how that could take you to Africa. Finding ancient Egyptian artifacts in Ohio. Pyramid mounds in Chicago. I mean, let's talk about the Mayans. The Mayans is literally right there in Mexico. It seemed like U.S. history has wiped American history clean, bro. They'll tell us, oh, the Native Americans was here and Christopher Columbus came over and took the land from them and all kind of unnecessary things. I want to know the truth. There's no way the story goes is that y'all took 10 million Africans from Africa over here to America in some wooden boats through the Atlantic Ocean. I am not buying it when we still seeing stuff like this. I just want to know the truth, man. Y'all boy, comment down below if y'all know any other ancient artifacts and where they're located at, fam. Any mounds, any pyramids, leave them down there so people can do the research, man, because this don't make no sense. Is this really Tamari? Was ancient Egypt actually over here? Are we living on great ancestral mounds in the ancient civilization? Y'all boy, let me know, man, please.
Hello, everyone. I have a little bit of a longer video, but I want to show you something that's really important. You see what they're doing to this mountain here? This is a mountain that runs all the way across. And there's like, you're going to see some power lines, the power lines that run down over there. On the other side of those power lines is where you're going to see the upcoming video of me going on the backside. But this is all ceremonial area. There's all burials up there. They're just ripping the whole mountain off, grinding everything up, and turning it into stone, county concrete. Here is the video here. Now I'm on the backside of an 880-foot high pyramid mountain. No joke. And on the other side is a canal system with a megalithic memory wall, and every one of those stones is carved. And where I am, so there's oak trees there. Now this is on the back side of the mound, of this pyramid mountain, and they made a park here. And there's a place on the other side of the park too. And it was supposedly like some sort of mining area from like 1863 to 1871. You know, like when they moved the Civil War treasures inland to Roxbury on the Mars Canal. No joke. They did a lot. They did a lot of secret stuff. They said they owned slaves and they didn't own slaves, and the slaves were helping. So this is up on this mountain. All those stones you see over there are all stacked. These are all placed here. Many of these are all carved, but they're so old. I'm telling you, these are really old, big giants that moved all of these stones. And then there's like this huge mound there. See that mound? There's even a house up there. That mound goes all the way across. That's like an ancient mound, burial mound. Like it's like a serpent mound, but it's like a roadway also, because they had to get, you know, all the artifacts to get up to the mountain. You see the stone here? See, that's all carved. They had it carved out so there can be a strap on there. These are some really big artifacts. There's some really older giants all the way down to the smaller giants. You see that stone there? That's carved. That stone is actually placed on top of that stone. And then there's another stone here you're going to see in a second. It's a piece of pudding stone. because pudding stone is the holiest stone in the world, named after Christmas pudding. And then as the hilltop in Roxbury, they're going to bulldoze 12 South Hillside Avenue. So walking up the hill, there's some artifacts here of some granite crystal that the tree is pushing up, because the entire mountain you see here is all fake. It's all been capped to make it. And see that hawk? Amazing. Red-tailed hawk flew through, and I think that was the hawk. I'm doing a voiceover here because it was so loud. And then as you go up, there's all these holes. This entire mountain is covered in these holes. And they're not from any mining activity, because I was looking through, I was like, for someone to go through and dig holes everywhere in 1860, it was a lot of work. So this is a carved boulder. You can see the eye, the pointy head, the long snout. And then there's all these bowls that are dug out. And then here's the mound here as I come up over here. It's on that one side. And I'm trying to do the voiceover to remember exactly, because this is the very first time I've ever been in this backside here. But there's huge areas, like there's another huge bowl here that was dug out, because for them to make the mounds, they have to dig out bowls. And a lot of these mounds will find a water source or a huge wallow that was dug out to make the mound, because there's less transportation of the soil and stone they need to make the mounds, because they cover the mounds in artifacts and soil and clay. And then down there, it's truly amazing. There's this huge wallow. You can even see there's a willow tree down there, and there's some really big oak trees. But I'm still walking up this mountain. I mean, this goes up, and then this is that. Now I'm on that serpent roadway, ancient roadway, serpent mound. And then they have these signs, about the mining activity that took place here. I mean, you read the thing about the mining. I mean, they went down 40 feet. They hit a vein of 5 feet wide, and they went down another 20 feet to 60 feet, and they ended up ended all mining operations from 1860 to 1871. It all lines up with the Civil War, when they brought treasures here, and before they ended the canal system in this area, and then they put the tracks in. So I continue to walk up, and it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it is so beautiful. And thank God they've set this park aside to save it. But, as I walk up, you can see them coming up to where the entrance is up here. And then what there is all these stones. These stones are all left here purposely. They're all stones that show drill holes and cut marks and faces and figures. And then you're going to see these big mounds. There's a big mound there on the left side, and a big right mound up there, further up the hill. As I come up the hill, you can see all these big boulders, and they're all been carved and worked, and they're all granite crystal. They're all real sparkly, and every single one of them has all been carved and worked. And then you see, like, there's an entrance up there, and then on the right hand side, you see a big mound, and then a really big mound. Okay, so that's the entrance, and another big mound, and then a huge mound here. These are all giant artifacts. I'm telling you, like, you go into this mound here. I'm going to pull up a stone here. I think this is the one I'm going to pull up. Yeah. Watch this stone. It has a cut face for a face and eyes carved into it. See, that cut mark is supposed to be the mouth. And then there's like an eye on the left side, eye on the right side, and the stones work. This whole pile is all giant artifacts. I'm telling you, there's spearheads, huge spearheads. I mean, it is amazing. It really is. What is here? It's mind blowing. So these massive piles that you see are all stone artifacts, because what I've noticed is these giants, I mean, look at this thing. It's all been worked and cut. I mean, this granite crystal. This is a really hard stone to cut. So as when I walk up here, you can see there's more stones. Look, here's one that has a drill mark. See, there's a drill mark in that stone. And then these stones they've all been worked. Now I'm walking into the entrance. Now on the right-hand side, there's a huge mound, and the left-hand side, there's a huge mound. And those are all the same artifacts. So as I walk up, and there's all stones that have been falling down, because the sides, it was like they might have had nicer sides going up with stone-built walls, and it's kind of fallen down. Or they kind of dismantled it so it wasn't so obvious. But that's a huge face there, and there's many faces. When you look up, there's a face, and on the side, there's a face, and you can see his nose, and then there's actually a capstone on top. That stone that's on top there, with the cut mark underneath, and that's his nose. You can see his eye. See underneath there? That is a shadow stone. It's a capstone like a hat. Okay, now check this thing out. This thing is huge. This thing's got to be about 12 feet high. These crazy letters. Those are like ancient script, and they were carved at the same time the stone was there because the stone is the same color as the carvings. Okay, so I know they're not like a modern day carving. And then this is where the entrance is. There's a clearly closed off entrance. You know, you're on the side of a hillside. There shouldn't be stacked stones because this is an entrance. There's an entrance going into this mountain mound of these burials of these giants. And it looks to me that this has not been touched. I thought it was all dug out. You know, I had come here once before and I thought it was dug out, but it's not. It's all untouched. And then they set this park aside like the other park where there's untouched burial mounds of these giants. I mean, there may be thousands and tens of thousands of giants in this 850 Pyramid Mountain Mound because the amount of artifacts and the amount of burial stones out in the front where the canal system is. It's just mind-blowing, amazing. Does anybody know what those symbols are that I showed over there? And then, like I said, this is where that goes into the mountain. And then these are the big mounds. These are all artifacts on the side of this hillside there. Huge mounds of artifacts. And then there's this huge stone there with a cut thing. And then this is a huge thing of artifacts. These are all artifacts. And then look at this stone. They got a stone here with 2 drill marks. It's supposed to be an eye and a mouth. But they're leaving you stones that are their technology and what they did to drill stones, because all these sites that I found are all the same. It's just bigger giants or smaller giants or really small giants. Please like, share, and follow, and please see the petition on my bio and help out any way you can.
A pyramid in Iran, Texas?
Hey guys, we're hiking through this ancient quarry in West Texas on our way to the 3 pyramids that are buried. See if I can turn the camera around. 1, 2. We're on a butte.
So pyramid. That you cannot mistake that for anything else but a pyramid. And it has everything like it's pyramid. Don't argue with me. Have a good day.
When you think of Illinois, you probably don't picture a 100-foot pyramid jutting out of the landscape. Yet, the pre-Columbian Native American city of Cahokia is found near St. Louis, just a few miles east of the Mississippi River, and it's home to the largest indigenous pyramid in all of the United States. The city used to cover 6 square miles and contained 120 mounds, but destructive colonial behaviors reduced the existing mounds to just 80. At its peak, Cahokia is estimated to have sustained between 6,000 and 40,000 citizens, who were known as the Mississippian culture, making Cahokia the largest pre-Columbian city north of Mexico. Building began around 600 CE, and the city remained inhabited until 1350 CE. The 100-foot-tall central platform pyramid, Monk's Mound, used to look more impressive with its 5,000-square-foot structure built across its top. If you like my content, hit the like button and subscribe, and also check out my Patreon.
I had did a podcast, shout out to Will Brown in the 1804 show, and we went deep into history. On there, I had mentioned and said it was a pyramid in Saginaw, Michigan. So, you know, I'll be saying that to people and, you know, like it's a pyramid in Saginaw. And people be like, I just want to show them like what I mean when I say that, like it's a real deal step pyramid in Saginaw, Michigan. And just a little bit about the journey I've been on, learning about like we really not from Africa, and America is really our homeland. And America is the homeland of the Hebrew Empire. And that's what the Europeans conquered or invaded when Christopher Columbus and everybody came over here. back in 1492. So with that being said, it's pyramids. Let me say this: the history of the world has been taught in a different way than what it really is. The history of the world has not been taught in a way so you can know who you are. They do not want Black people to know who they is and that we are on our own land. Pyramid is the Hebrew people ancient architecture. So anywhere you see a step pyramid, and this is a step pyramid, y'all. That's a step pyramid. You see the steps on it? I'm gonna zoom in now. It's very big too. And we are at the confluence of the Tittabawassee and the Shiawassee River. And the Tittabawassee and the Shiawassee River come together and they become the Saginaw River and they flow into the Saginaw Bay. You also can go look on Google Maps and confirm that this is a pyramid. This is a step pyramid right in Saginaw. And they all over America. Like when I was driving back from Texas to Michigan, I seen a pyramid in Arkansas. They're everywhere, but they call them mounds, and they archaeology call them mounds because they have to disconnect your mind that they really pyramids, because the history of the world has been told backwards. Do you feel me? And our ancestors built these, y'all, and they all over America. America is our homeland, and that's the true thing. That's why they keep the foot or European imperialism or the Europeans at the top. I'm not talking about all white people. White people are not a monolithic people. You know, some white people, to know this information, they tell it. They on TikTok telling it because the information and the truth is coming out, because the truth of the world has to come out. So, you know, I just wanted to show y'all this. This is a step pyramid. How I actually found that this I was here. Like, I went on a journey learning, like, you know what I'm saying, we were the Aboriginal people of America. And one day I was going over the South Side Bridge and I was just talking to the universe. I'm like, man, is this, you know, show me deeper, you know what I'm saying? And some told me to look to my left and I seen this structure. So I started coming to the park, because this right off Wicks Park Drive. And I started coming to the park looking at it and coming to find out, you know, I was like, damn, that really looked like a step pyramid. If you look up and you Google step pyramids right now, you'll know what I mean and understand that this is a step pyramid. They all over America. So I started looking it up. Like when I was in Texas, I started looking it up more and researching more. Like, what is this? Like looking on Google Maps and researching, like, this actually was excavated by the University of Michigan. This is called the Schutz and Greenpoint site. You can Google it, Schutz and Greenpoint site. This is a pyramid. There's many of them in Michigan. There's many mounds, pyramids, all type of stuff in Michigan. And the people who call themselves Indians, who got all these casinos, they're not saying they built this. They're not saying they built this. This was built by the Aboriginal Americans, the Negroid Aboriginal Americans. It's a Negro on every continent. It's an African Negro. It's an American Negro. It's an Australian Negro. And it's an Asiatic Negro. And all the Negro people are oppressed by Europeans, the European imperialism, because they have went all the British, the Spanish, the French, they went all over the earth, and they conquered and they spread their ways, and they, you know what I'm saying? It was many wars for Black people to get here. You know, it didn't just happen overnight. It's under Indian wars. Our whole history in North America is under Indian wars. It's a book called Indian Wars and Captivity. You know what I'm saying? They hide in this history, y'all. This is our true thing. This is our land. It's a step pyramid. It's a pyramid off US 23. When you're going down 75 and it's split into US 23, it's an even bigger pyramid right in Flint, you know? But they in Alabama, they all over North America, and Black people who roamed these lands. What it was, enslavement, they conquered our ass, sent us to the plantation because we was prisoners of war. And they economically castrated us. So we used to be traders, and we traded on a worldwide global market. We wasn't reduced to just trading drugs and stuff. The only reason niggas trade drugs is that that's the freest market Black men can have, because they have us reduced to trading that. But we used to control the whole trade markets of the earth. So yeah, this is a step pyramid, y'all, and it's for real. Like, the information on the world is gonna keep coming true. The world gonna keep getting more weirder and weirder because these people have told so many lies. And as the vibratory rate of the earth does keep going up, and as the vibratory rate of the universe and the universe keep getting hotter, it ain't global warming. It's two suns in the universe. We have two suns. We have another sun called the Star System Series, and that is coming back, and that's making the earth warmer, and the water from Antarctica is going to come. That's going to just replenish the earth, replenish the water, because these people polluted. But this is a cycle that's always happened. That's what the Mayan calendar, who is also us. We are the Mayans, the Hebrews, the Egyptians, the Aztecs. That's all us. You know, everybody knows, like, even in the mythology of the Bible, the Hebrews, they said the Hebrews built the pyramids, but the Europeans switched and said the slaves built the pyramids. But we are the Hebrew people. We built the pyramids all over the earth. This is our ancient building. Like right now, Google step pyramids. You can look at Mexico, in Central America. They all over Central America. They all over North America. One of the biggest pyramids is in North America right now, called Cahokia. You know, now I'm going to leave y'all with this. Think about this. You know, they get money off anything. They're going to make money. It will be tourism all over everywhere. It will be tourism. Why don't they get money? Why are they telling the people that it's mounds and pyramids and all these beautiful structures? This is a big structure, y'all. This is very large. Let me go to the side so y'all can see. I stand in one place so I can talk, y'all. But this is very large, y'all. People, this is real. You see how long it is? It's a pyramid. You can look on Google Earth and see. I'm not playing. Like, this is real. That is a pyramid. That's a pyramid. So it's a lot of history to it. This ain't on no, you know what I'm saying? It's just the truth of the earth, and it's gonna keep coming out, and it's gonna keep coming real, because these is why I'm saying black people be conscious like of your energy and stuff right now, and why they want us to be hateful, why they keep us in this state, why they keep their foot on our neck, why it's a fucking liquor store on every corner, why they want to keep you, how they want to keep you destroyed, because they got your land and your resources. It's deeper than what we think. They keep you caught on slavery. They keep you being caught on slavery. Oh, no, they ain't even telling slavery right. You were just an employee and you worked for free, and they brutalized you on that plantation because they were taking your rice, your cotton, your motherfucking bell peppers. They had never heard of all this stuff. They was taking this stuff and selling it on a global market. And they took control of the trade routes, because we controlled the trade routes from Europe all over the earth. They took control of those trade routes. And over a process of 400 years, us fighting them, we just end up going inside their society, and we became black and calling ourselves black after so many colored and being put under a caste system. That's a pyramid, y'all. Can you see it? Let me zoom in for y'all. Yeah, America is the ancient. You are in Jerusalem. America is ancient Jerusalem. This is lower Jerusalem, you know? Because the map is turned upside down to the map they show y'all turned upside down. And I just wanted to go ahead and show y'all this pyramid and show y'all what's going on. This is a pyramid in North America. And that's what it is. We are the Hebrew people, and y'all are in the land of the Hebrews. Ashe to the Most High. Ashe to the Most High. Ashe to Ra. Ashe to Allah. And Ashe to Yahovah. Peace and blessings. Amen. Rapatah.
For chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, they get ice and blue and white duck, ask blunt. Just keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. Keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit. You can have what you want.
This pyramid home in Fort Davis, Texas can be yours for $80,000. And yes, this is actually a home. It is a one-bed, one-bathroom home, a little bit over 2,100 square feet. I couldn't find any pictures of the interior. The entire property is about a half an acre, and is it a red flag? There's literally no pictures of the interior whatsoever. So I went ahead and designed a room, or a possible room myself. Check it out right here with this app. I think it looks pretty good.
Literally steps, bro. Look. Steps. Every time I go past the mountains, I see steps. If you look good, like when you get on them, you can see, look. There's steps all over this thing. That's pyramids, bro. Man, that's crazy. Wait, we probably about to come up on another one. And here's my head. Look, watch this. Watch, I guarantee it's got steps in it. She's going fast, y'all can't see. Look at them steps. Going too fast, they ain't gonna be able to see. It did.
Giant pyramids all around me. I lost track of how many. Giant one right here. People up there. Another one right there. Another one over here. I'll do a full circle of this whole pyramid. Why the heck did they leave the nubs? Look at that. Most of the pyramid is still under dirt. Like, how many thousands of years did it take for all that dirt to build up on a pyramid? There's trees growing off the side of it. This is steep as hell.
Now, I done made plenty of videos talking about the pyramids in America. They all over the place. They all over in America. There's more pyramids in America than there is anywhere around the world, but yet they never want to teach us about it. They don't talk about it. They don't tell us about it. They want to keep everything a secret. We just got to realize with our eyes, open them up and realize everything ain't no motherfucking hill and everything ain't no motherfucking mountain. A lot of these motherfucking structures are old pyramids. That's exactly what they are, dog. They just don't want us to know about the shit.
I go cry for you.
Man, get in here, get in here, get in there. Boy, get your tea ready. Get your tea ready, right? So I don't know if you realize that Arkansas, right, and Mississippi was once together, right? And they both have two ancient pyramids. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you what was found in the pyramids that they were showing in the World's Fair. But you can take a screenshot, and this pyramid was found during the highway construction in Mississippi off the expressway. And when they kept digging, they realized that it was 2 football fields in length and that big. One of the biggest pyramids on earth. But go and take another screenshot. Take a screenshot now. And then another one called the Step Pyramids that they're so-called supposed to be of Giza, but it's actually found in Arkansas. But guess what else is found in Arkansas, right? But this pyramid is 3 stadiums, football stadiums, that big, but you can't see it because permanently that. Now, did you? This is what the Step Pyramid looked like, right? But they hide it from you, right? And then to add insult to injury, they got a Sphinx found in Arkansas. And this Sphinx is an Egyptian lost city that's mentioned in the Bible. But now I'm going to show you this poster that was found in these pyramids. What mommies was found in these pyramids. Now, this is what's interesting. Look at this poster from the World's Fair. They found the oppressors of the Israelites, the daughter of Moses, the son-in-law of Solomon, and so on, or the law of kings of Solomon. So all these mummies was found in Mississippi and Arkansas. Go ahead and take a screenshot. But they say that it was over 3,000 years ago. But if you like to donate $1, greatly appreciate it.
Now, what the hell going on here, America? Looks like we got another pyramid in Pennsylvania. Check this out. Ooh, wait.
Global family, this is the Pennsylvania pyramid covered in dirt. America is Egypt. I'm Newbie One.
Okay, America, more and more pyramids are starting to pop up all across America. And the big question is America Egypt? Because it's a lot of hieroglyphs being found. Check this out.
Never forget.
Well, America, if you guys not familiar with the mud floods, well, the mud floods happened and a lot of things got covered up in the mud floods. And obviously, these mounds and pyramids was covered up in mud floods. So if you dig deep within, you can clearly see that these are pyramid structures. And the most strange thing about this is these pyramids and mounds only supposed to be in Egypt. So how is it, America, that these pyramids and mounds is being found in America, all over America? Come on now, America, we need answers, and we need answers now. Ooh-wee. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please follow, like, and subscribe, comment, and go to my other channel, Seeing Beyond the Veil 666 on TikTok, and Seeing Beyond the Veil 999 on YouTube, and also on YouTube, The Key to Liberation on YouTube. Check out all my music and everything like that. Exclusive Rashad Jamal footage. Well, America, that's it. Stay tuned for the next videos. I'm going to take you guys behind the ice walls again and show you that it's a lot of landmass on this earth that's not being accounted for. And I wonder why, and we wonder why it's not being shown. Peace.
Thanks for watching. This video is for entertainment only, but if you know, you know.
They can't explain why pyramids in America are older than the ones in Africa. Meet Monk's Mound in Cahokia, Illinois, the largest earthwork pyramid in North America. Carbon dating puts it at over 1,000 years old, but that's just the surface story. Some layers test much older than the accepted construction dates of Egypt's pyramids. Receipt number 1, the Watson Break Mounds in Louisiana date to around 3500 BCE, centuries before the Great Pyramid of Giza. Receipt number 2, in Bolivia, the Acapana Pyramid in Tiwanaku shows advanced stonework aligned to solstices, with flood damage indicating it may predate the last major climate shifts. Receipt number 3, Chinese state archaeologists confirm pyramids in Shanxi province share design parallels with Mesoamerican pyramids, and some date to the same early periods. These aren't random piles of dirt. The alignments, geometry, and cultural parallels show a shared advanced knowledge base, and the Americas may have been the origin point. If civilization began out of Africa, why do we find massive, mathematically precise structures in the Americas that are older than their supposed African counterparts? The pyramid problem isn't history. It's a crack in the official timeline big enough to drive a civilization through. Hit that plus button so you can follow the case, because the next exhibit will take you inside the oldest one of them all.
Did you know there are more pyramids in America than there are in Egypt? In fact, I would go as far to say there are more pyramids in America than anywhere else in the world. Most of them are just buried and covered up, hidden right beneath the surface, like this one here, Tum Tum Mountain in Washington State. I mean, just look at the similarities between one of the now famously uncovered pyramids It would look just like a hill to most of you blind observers today, too. But the perfect angles and symmetry are undeniable. Just look at the shadow it even casts. Nature does not work in such perfect straight lines and symmetry. And when you take a look at it from above on Google Earth, it becomes even that much more obvious. You can even see the base of the pyramid here. Just one of dozens of pyramids in Washington state. But look how clear it is. From any angle you can find on Google Earth, from any street view, which unfortunately, believe it or not, is kind of hard to do for the street views because it stops abruptly right about here. And there's a big private no trespassing sign and a gate here. And that's as far as you can see on street view. But here's a little more video of it from Google Earth. You can see where that street view down at the bottom just abruptly ends there at the base of the pyramid. I mean, mountain. And then you see that nice little top squared off from the pyramid. Another striking similarity to the Egyptian pyramids. But this is Tum Tum Mountain in Washington State. Check it out yourself on Google Earth and let me know what you think. Question everything, friends. Until next time. Maybe America really is ancient Egypt. It certainly has far more pyramids than Egypt did. Far more pyramids, in fact, than anywhere in the world. Here's one in Pyramid Lake, Nevada. A very fitting name for a very obvious pyramid lake. A pyramid left melted and in ruins. And by the looks of the lake, it looks like there are several more melted structures in the area. Perhaps even a few more pyramids. Now, what I really like about this one is a look at the postcard from the 1800s here. They definitely knew what it was. And I'm sure that's the reason why it got its name, Pyramid Lake. Next one is a very awesome step pyramid from Pikesville, Kentucky. I have heard there are tons of pyramids hidden all around Kentucky. If anybody is from the Kentucky area, know of any other pyramids I could check out, that would be awesome. But just look at this right off the highway. Clear as day, not a natural structure at all. And the last one we're going to look at is another pyramid hidden right off the highway. This one looks like it's from Wyoming. And if you guys know of any other pyramids in America that you'd like to check out, just let me know. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
On two different videos, I've showed you mounds of rubble surrounding Hemet, California. And I got a lot of the geology theory. Okay, well, now it's not mounds of rubble, it's pyramids. So I want to see your geology theory about pyramids in Hemet, California. So let's take another ride in Hemet. Let's go. All right, I'm just off a State Street in Hemet. And right there ahead of me is a pyramid. 3 distinct ridges going down the sides. Might be covered up by a couple feet of rubble, but definitely a pyramid. Okay, I'm just off a Hemet golf course here, off of Devonshire and California Road, and directly ahead of me is a pyramid. This is one of the most obvious ones in Hemet. And each one of these that I'm going to show you, I'm also going to include a picture with the lines running down the sides showing the ridges and showing it's a 3-sided pyramid. Now, again, just off a State Street, the one at the top there. Now, I'm saying the one at the top, but it looks like there might be several ones. But definitely has 3 sides and definitely has ridges, which I'm going to mark them on a picture. This is a little closer view of the one we just took. The one at the top is the one I was pointing out on the last take. Now here, there's one on the left and a little lower, and I can see the three ridges clearly that make up the pyramid. And at the bottom of the pyramid, there's a house that looks like a 2 or 3 story house. So you can see how big these things really are. Now, there's mounds everywhere in Hemet, and I called them mounds of rubble, but there's also a such thing of mound pyramids. And if you believe in them, then Hemet is just littered with them. There's a couple pictures I took out near Winchester, or in Winchester. I'm going to blow those pictures up and outline them as well. I don't think I did any narration on them. But here's the pyramids, and you know what to do with your geology theory now. These were not made up of sediments and shifting stones or lava remains. I'm Truman from The Truman Show, the real life Truman. Thanks for watching.
This is Lake Pyramid, found in northwest Nevada. They say America has no pyramids. Cap. This pyramid is 14,000 years old. Amazing. Beautiful scenery. This is an ancient picture of the pyramid. This, said to be rock erosion, looks like a statue. Glyphs found at the pyramid are 14,000 years old. This skull was found on the beach, 10,000 years old. We know the truth now. We know the truth now here. Yesterday, I was riding through the Texas Panhandle, and I ran across this city named Memphis, Texas. And it's the first thing I saw. Amazing. But what's interesting about it, there are 3 of these and massive mounds in this area in Memphis, Texas. Now, doing my research on this area a while back, I read about Medicine Mound, but they never talked about these structures in Memphis, Texas. Crazy, right? We know the truth now.
Y'all, this is amazing, isn't it? This is amazing. And the thing is, I think some of y'all probably seen it and just didn't realize what you were looking at. You know, the ones in Pennsylvania I have seen. I have seen some traveling from the north into the south. There's a bunch of them in Florida. So those of you that live in places like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, y'all got a bunch of them down there. They're all up and down the East Coast, all up and down. You know, I knew a guy years ago, and he was a trucker. He said he has seen pyramids in virtually every state he drove in, and he drove cross country. He said there was not one state that he's been to that he did not see a pyramid in. So it just goes to show you they're everywhere. It doesn't, they got them in Maryland. Yes, they do. There are pyramids in Maryland. There are pyramids in Delaware. There's some in New Jersey. There's some in New York. They are everywhere, y'all. California got a multiple pyramids there in California. California got a lot of them. Nevada got some. Arizona, they are everywhere. And it just goes to show you this whole nation, thousands of years ago, was occupied. But these folks want you to believe history started with them. And like I said, you would have to be an idiot to believe that. No history existed until the last people that showed up on the earth came, and now history exists. That is the biggest lie being told. And it just goes to show you America got to be way older than we ever heard before. I don't, I even heard people say 15,000 years. I think it even predates 15,000 years. I really do. I think it goes further back than 15,000 years. Yeah, I mean, white people are not known for pyramids. These Siberians are not known for pyramids, but we are. Us melanated people, we are known and have a history of pyramids. Okay, we just do. And it just goes to show you we lived everywhere all over this land. We didn't just live in certain locations, we lived all over the entire country. Everywhere you see a pyramid, that's where our folks were living. That's where we were living. And if you notice, a lot of them are around water. A lot of them are very near water. I noticed that too. Even the structure the guy was showing you in New Jersey, if he would have took you a little further down, there is a big body of water there. I might have to do a little video. Do y'all know in Patterson, New Jersey, we have what they call mini Niagara Falls? It is literally a miniature sized Niagara Falls there. It's a natural formation that they believe was formed during the Ice Age. I might do a video on it because a lot of people are astonished. Even people in New Jersey don't know that exists. It looks like a scaled down Niagara Falls, and it is natural, and it is in New Jersey. I would even have people tell me when I would show them, they didn't even know waterfalls were in New Jersey. Yes, we do have one. I might do a live, maybe sometime this week. I'll gather some of the pictures and show it to you. I mean, we got a lot of amazing things in this land that has been hidden from us. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I didn't even show you even a fraction of the pyramids. There are more videos of pyramids, and maybe I can do more in the future. I'll gather some more that were not seen in this live stream, and we'll do this again because I think it's definitely worth watching. And yeah, I did see somebody in here saying this is not our land. Shem was given the lands with seasons. Okay, Shem was given the land with seasons. America has seasons. So yes, wherever you see seasons, and you see we have all 4 seasons here. Not all states do though, y'all. Arizona don't have 4 seasons. Florida don't have 4 seasons. Texas, Nevada. So there are some states that don't have 4 seasons, but there are a lot of states in this land that have 4 seasons. So you can't dismiss that it says Shem was given the land with 4 seasons and you're in a land with 4 seasons, then you can't really dismiss that and say, hey, this ain't our land. That's all I'm saying. All right. And the lands with 4 seasons are the best lands in the world. The land, yeah, in the northern part, but in Miami, y'all don't really have all the seasons because y'all year round, especially in southern Miami, y'all don't have all that snow and stuff like we do up in the north. But listen, y'all, we are in the land of seasons, just like the Most High gave to Shem. So you can't say this ain't our land, because this land actually matches up with what it says. That's all I'm saying. It matches up with what it says. You know? Well, you're not going to get it out of the Bible. You're going to have to look in some of the lost books. Oh, yeah, yeah. I do know, Chris G. Y'all do have some crazy weather. My uncle lives down there. He lives in Miami Gardens. And I remember years I would talk to him and he was saying it was freezing down there. And I know y'all ain't really used to it like we are. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't have no problem providing scripture, daughter of Yah. The next time we come together, I will. I don't understand why y'all find it hard to believe that Shem was given the lands with seasons. You know where Ham is. All of Africa don't have 4 seasons. They usually have a dry and a rainy season, right? They have a dry season and a rainy season. Right, the land of milk and honey, yeah, those lands got if you got in an area with 4 seasons, you are literally on the best land. You're literally on the best land. So if this is not, then you tell me. So those of you that say this ain't our land, give me the land masses that belongs to Shem then. What are the land masses that belongs to Shem since this ain't it? So I want to throw that back in your lap. Since you don't believe this is Shem's land, then tell us what Shem's lands are. Yeah, Utah got Moab. There's a Moab, Utah. And here in my state, we got a location called Mount Ephraim. They didn't even bother changing the names of these places. We got Mount Ephraim right here in my state. And, Salem is short for Jerusalem. Around me, not far from where I am, we got a street and it's called Salem. Okay. Some of the oldest houses in New Jersey is on that street. I mean, these houses look like they're so old, they look like they might have even been here when these folks arrived, in this land. Hundreds of years. Those structures have been up for when you look at the houses, they had to be there well over 100 years, well past. More than likely there even when our people were in chattel slavery. That's how old they are. That's all I'm saying. So if you don't believe it, then give us the name of all the land masses that belongs to Shem then. Right. Our lands are part of the covenant. Thank you, Quantum Solus. That's right. So, which means we're getting all of our land back. Every piece of landmass that went to Shem is coming back to us. That's true. It's all coming back to us. All of it. because the lands are part of the covenant. And it's a lot of wealth in this land. It's a lot of things that have been hidden from us about this land. The pyramids are just part of it. It is so much more. Yeah, and one guy brought up a good point. You ever notice they don't let you live all over America? We all live cordoned off in just certain parts of the country, but they literally don't let you live anywhere all over the land. There's a lot of unoccupied land. In fact, most of America, believe it or not, is unoccupied. So if we were to get reparations, they got more than enough land to give to each and every one of us. But the Gentiles, really, it's not their place to do that. But the Most High will make sure we got every drop of the land we're entitled to when that time comes. But I mean, look, the people that don't want to believe it, then they got the right not to believe it. That's all. But you can best believe where Israel is, he didn't put us there. That's the desert. That's the desert. He didn't put us in no desert. It's desert land. And notice they got the highest skin cancer rate over there because they're not native to the land. That's why they keep getting burnt up to a crisp over there. Our Heavenly Father didn't put us in a desert. Yeah, yeah, there Europe, most of Europe get 4 seasons. That's very true. Ireland, the UK, France, all of those lands, Germany, they all get seasons. And you're right, it wouldn't just be here in North America. It wouldn't. It would be the European nations as well. Many of them go through 4 seasons. Very true. Mhm. Yep, Arizona absolutely do. You're right. Arizona got pyramids. Yes, they do. Mhm. So, I mean, this whole thing is very complex, but the Most High knows how to sort all of this out, and He will. He will, and we will get everything back we're entitled to. These folks got everything that belongs to us, and we will get every bit of it back. All right. So I got people to thank. Quantum Solace, thank you for the super chat. Talk about cutting off their own noses, spite their faces. Like our brother Malcolm said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Yes, yes. What happened to us were multiple invasions. That's what happened to us. Multiple invasions. Quantum Solace, thank you again for another super chat. This just truth for that ass. Letting the foolish and the senseless know who lands are these. Yeah, they know this belongs to us. They know. They're fully aware of it. Why do you think they have fought like hell to keep us at the bottom? They have fought like hell to keep us at the bottom. And you notice they don't do it to nobody else. Just pay attention. The actions of these people, it's really telling it all. If this land really truly belonged to the Siberians, wouldn't they be up their backs every day, all day? No, they're not doing that to them. After they given them multiple reparations and put them on reservations and stuff, they generally don't bother these folks no more. They don't bother them. But they have never ceased in bothering us all the time. All the time. Look, Even when Charlie Kirk was unalive, they still found a way to come at us. They still found a way to do it. That we are the one people they just can't leave us the hell alone. Is this enough definitive for you, Esau, and you vassals? You immigrants all are on our land, the land of the giants. Thank you for your support for my channel. All right. Hazel Hill, thank you so much for your super sticker. Ezra Jacob 712, thank you for your super sticker. Quantum Solace, our Holy Mother bringing things back to remembrance. Great glory to the Holy One. And thank you for your super chat and support for my channel. Okay, let me go back up here. Okay, so Quantum Solace, thank you again for a super chat. Like they said, America is the second Egypt. Although these are our mainlands, Egypt is nothing but a colony of these lands, of this northern kingdom. We had colony states all over the world. Hashtag Big Judah. Yes. And, didn't they find, I got to go back in my info because I really retain a lot of information. They found mummies in the Grand Canyon, the same type of mummified bodies that are found, well, before the Gentiles ate them all in Egypt. They had those same type of mummified bodies in the Grand Canyon, in sarcophagus and everything. Quantum Solace, thank you again for your super chat. Likes up for sister bringing up this timely information. Thanks, Lisa. This is amazing. Thank you. I did not mind bringing this forth at all because I was not sure if many of you even saw these videos. I did years ago, but then I didn't think about it anymore. And then I thought about it a few days ago and I said, let me put this together. But thank you again for your support. Again, here's another super chat. This definitely debunked those government approved $5 natives. I wonder what rebuttal they are going to say as to this. That's the point. They cannot say crap. The Most High Yahuwah has closed their mouths. Amen. You ain't never lied. Quantum Solace, another super chat. Mount Rushmore. I wonder what treasures and knowledge hidden there. I don't know, but they did destroy many of these pyramids, y'all. And I know in New Jersey, they destroyed them and ground the stone into powder. So, and I know this could not have only been done in New Jersey. It's probably been done all over the country. So there's probably was way more than 120. It probably exceeded that. But many of these pyramids were also destroyed by these Gentiles. Okay. Okay, Quantum Solace. People don't realize that these are the lands of the giants, the lands Caleb and Joshua was sent as scouts. The Most High ordained us these lands as a part of our covenant with him. Absolutely. That is the truth. That is the truth. Thank you so much, Quantum Solace, for all of your super chats and your super stickers and your donations to my channel. I deeply appreciate it. I deeply appreciate it from everyone. Mm-mm. Mhm. Mm. Yeah, they ate them. I did a live stream and I spoke about that. There are no more mummified bodies from Egypt because they loaded them up on ships multiple times and took them to Europe. and the Europeans ate them, thinking that eating Egyptian bodies would give them some sort of power. That's what they really truly believed. So, yeah. Mhm. So, in my opinion, that's still a form of cannibalism. It doesn't matter if it's a dead body. It was once a human that lived, and y'all ate them. That's cannibalism. It's still cannibalism. Mhm. In fact, you can see the pictures, y'all. There are pictures of ships, and they got lined up on the ship, all of these sarcophagus that they're shipping over to Europe, and they sent these to countries all over Europe, and they would have these parties where they would open the sarcophagus, and then after they would open it, and there's pictures too, old pictures of them sitting around a table, and you can see parts of the Egyptian's body cut and the piece on their plate for them to eat. These pictures exist. I'm not making this stuff up. The pictures exist of them sitting with a piece of an Egyptian body in front of them on a dinner plate. Yes, I'm not kidding, y'all. These pictures do exist. Mhm. And why would you eat a body that's been in the ground for thousands of years? Ugh, and some of them ground the bodies into powder and then sprinkled the powder on their food. So it was done different ways, but the bottom line is that's why they will even tell you there are no more mummified bodies because the Europeans ate them all. Mhm. And I said, "That's how I know you're not the Egyptians because you don't even respect the dead over there. If you really respected the dead, you would never be digging them up like that." Pride of Judah, thank you so much for your super chat, Lisa. I've done lots of research I like to share with you. Well, thank you. You can email it to me. Absolutely. Mhm. Yeah. So, y'all, I just wanted to show you this. I knew, this would be a very interesting topic to show you on the Shabbat. And, we have our Bible study at 2:45. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I thank each and every one of you for being here. And there's a lot of topics that I want to talk about. I've made probably about 7 or 8 live streams. I mean, not live, but I've set them up in advance. And, since the government is shut down, NASA is no longer doing updates on 3I Atlas, and they're expecting it to cross Mars in just a few days. And they're on shutdown. So NASA is not being funded. So they're not updating anything, including their webpage on 3I Atlas. So a lot of people are now looking at foreign um, sites or, non-government sites for information now because NASA is no longer available. So I might do something on that. I do have it prepared. So we'll see. If I do it, it'll be probably later on in the evening. We can talk about that as well. So, y'all, enjoy your Shabbat. Some of you I will see at 2:45. The others that don't come to Bible study, please enjoy your weekend. Shalom. Shabbat shalom, family.